All right, fourth grade, we're ready to start our next lesson in English, which is all about quotation marks. I'm sure you guys have heard about this before, but I don't think we've ever actually learned about it. So I'm excited to start this new part. So, sometimes you may want to write a conversation between two or more people. When you write the exact words that a speaker says, you are writing a direct quotation. So that means a quotation is something that somebody says exactly. So if you say, don't quote me, or, quote me, that means that you get that person's exact words. A direct quotation can come at the beginning or at the end of a sentence. Use quotation marks, which are these little things right here, before and after a speaker's exact words. Do not place quotation marks around the words that explain who is talking. So here is an example. Ali asked, quotation mark, have you read about the fox and the grapes, question mark, and quotation marks. So you see here, the quotation marks go around exactly what Ali asked. You wouldn't put the quotation mark before what Ali asked because Ali didn't say Ali asked. She said, starting right here, have you read about the fox and the grapes? And the question mark is part of the sentence because she asked a question, right? Asked. So question mark and then end quotation marks, okay? So that right there is what Ali asked. That is what goes in quotations. That's my favorite fable, I exclaimed. So here we see I exclaimed is at the end, so the quote is in the beginning of the sentence. For this first one, the quote was at the end of the sentence. It doesn't matter like it says here. It can come at the beginning or at the end. All you need to do is distinguish where the quote is and place the quotation marks around it, whether it's in the beginning or in the end of the sentence. Here, I, whoever I is, exclaimed this right here. So you have to put quotation marks around what I exclaimed. Do not use quotation marks unless you give the exact words of the speaker. So here it says, Mr. Stewart said that we would write fables today. We can't put quotation marks right here. Mr. Stewart said, we can't put them here because he didn't say that we would write fables today. No, 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 no. That was not his exact quote. This is how Mr. Stewart said it. Mr. Stewart said, today we will write fables. So as you can see, you only place quotation marks when it's exactly what they said. Mr. Stewart didn't say that we would do, he didn't say, that's not what came out of his mouth. This person is telling somebody else what it is he said, just passing along the information that he passed. This right here, this person is saying exactly what Mr. Stewart said. Okay, so you guys need to distinguish the differences between this as well. Let's go to try it out, speak up, so we can practice some. Number 1, Ms. Diaz asked, have you read Aesop's Fables? So where would we put quotation marks right here? We would put the quotation marks right after asked until the end of the sentence because this is exactly what Ms. Diaz asked. Number 2, I've read them all, Nick exclaimed. We would put quotation marks where? Around what Nick exclaimed. I've read them all. So you see, quotation marks go around a sentence as somebody said. You see here, a sentence starts with a capital letter and ends in a punctuation, right? Capital letter, punctuation. So quotation marks go around the exact sentence as somebody said. Number 3, James explained that the characters are talking animals. Where would the quotation marks go? Here. Uh-oh, this is a trick question. There are no quotation marks here because it is correct. Remember, there is no direct quote here. James explained that the characters are talking animals. It doesn't say James explained. The characters are talking. No, 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 no. There's no direct quote here. It's just James passing along information that characters are talking animals. Okay? So this one is correct. Number 4, Melissa told us that each story teaches a lesson. So where should the quotation marks go here? Gotcha! Another trick question. If you guys got it, very good job. This one is actually correct as well. There's no direct quote. Melissa told us that each story teaches a lesson. So you see here, there's no direct quote. It just says it's Melissa passing along information. Number 5. Aesop lived over 2,000 years ago, Kelly added. Where would the quotation marks go here? Okay, it goes around what Kelly added. She added information that Aesop lived over 2,000 years ago. That's exactly what Kelly said. Number 6. He was captured by pirates and taken to Greece, she said. What's the direct quote? Right over here. He was captured by pirates and taken to Greece, she said. It goes around what she said. Number 7. Kelly explained that Aesop worked in a court of law. Where do we put the quotes? Well, it's correct. Trick question again. It's saying that she explained that. It didn't say what the direct quote was. It didn't tell us what she said exactly. Just that she explained this piece of information right here. And number 8, many of his stories were used to make a point in court, she said. Where do the quotations go? They go around what she said. Quotations. Oh. All right, so that is where the quotations go, and some of them are correct. So when you go to do your assignment, you need to make sure that you pay attention where you put quotations. If it's correct, meaning you don't need to add quotations, you have to write that it's correct, okay? So let's look at on your own. You are going to get the pen in OneNote and add quotations around each part of the sentence that needs quotation marks. If the sentence is correct, write the word correct next to it, just like Miss Denise did right over here on this page. So on this one, you're not highlighting, you're not doing any of that. You're adding quotation marks or writing the word correct next to it if it is correct, okay? That's just an example. That's not correct, okay? So that's exactly what you're going to do. Let's look at the example. Who knows the fable of the crow? Kim asked. Where would quotation go? Or is it correct? Well, as you can see here, it's telling us what Kim asked, so we put quotations around what it is she asked. That's what you're going to do for 9 through 16. Either add quotation marks or write the word correct at the end, okay? For 17 through 24, this part of a fable has 8 missing or incorrect quotation marks. Write the fable correctly. So instead of writing the fable correctly, what you're going to do is add the quotation marks where they need to be or highlight the ones that are wrong, okay? So wherever it is you need to add them, you're going to get your little pen and add the quotation marks. Or you are going to get the highlighter and highlight what is wrong, okay? So let's look at this example right here. I'll try hard, said the tortoise. Where would we put quotation marks here? Or is there something wrong that we need to fix? Well, the tortoise said, I'll try hard, right? So that's the direct quote. So you would get your little pen and add the quotation marks around what the tortoise said. So just like I got my pencil and added the quotation marks, you're going to do the same thing right here. Now let me remind you, on OneNote, when you click on the pen, on the Draw tab, you can choose the size of the pen. So if it's like a big giant blob like that, you don't want that. We want it to be a little tiny mark. Quotations, as you can see, are very tiny. They're like commas, but up in the air. So make the pen thinner so that they're tiny, okay? So they're not giant marks on your page and blocking everything, okay? Now, if you need any help with this assignment, if it's confusing you in any way, please call me and let me explain it to you again, okay? Please don't be afraid. I'm here to help you, okay? Your assignment is to do on your own, numbers 9 through 24, both top and bottom part, okay? So get on OneNote and start working.